What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of What the Hell is Happening in the US economy and how can we, as good capitalists, make money based on whatever is happening. So today we got some good news. Like the last video, government will not be shutting down. What a shocker. They come up to an agreement right before the due date, which was October 1st at midnight. So as soon as that September 30th to October 1st, they did it right around 10:30 p.m. They were able to come up with some sort of agreement to keep the budget keep going and people don't lose their job and have to work for free. So we got some good news, but we got good news. How can we benefit? We're ready for the bad news. If the government's going to shut down, what are we going to do to make money? Now we got to talk about, since the government is not shutting down, what is the other possibilities and what is the most likely scenario for the market and which companies could benefit from that. So I'm going to have 3 companies on top of a bonus one. You have to wait till the end. The bonus one's going to be a little more risky, but it will be a nice stock to look at. Make sure, if you like this video, if you want more stock market, guys, leave a comment, subscribe, do your thing, watch the whole video, put me up on your iPad, in the shower, wherever you're watching, just put me up somewhere. You just gotta listen. You gotta really look at it, and you just gotta listen, so make sure you're listening. So I want to get into and show you guys some things of some of the companies that are going to be the most benefit of the government not shutting down. Those are going to be companies that are reliant on the government and get a lot of money from the government in general, and those are going to be the ones that do 2 things. The number 1 will be government contracts, which companies are getting paid the most from the government and given the most funds. And 2, which companies are lobbying in the government, which companies are out there giving money to the government to pass certain laws to help that company. There's a stat out there that about every dollar invested into lobbying returns the company $300. So it's a pretty damn good ROI for them. It's their version of doing ads. So let's just jump into the list real fast. So here we have the top 100 companies, which companies are getting the most amount of money. This is a little bit outdated, it's 2019, but it is still very relevant. And one of the first ones, we'll go one by one. The first ones I'm looking at is this one that's sitting at number 2. I'm skipping the first here, Lockheed Martin. When I'll look at them, but I am very interested in Boeing, not only for this. I'm using the confluence of the government shutdown with other things. That's why we gotta hop to my favorite website, TradingViews. So let's first look at knowing what do we see here. Very big sell-off leading up to this potential government shutdown, which makes a lot of sense, right? We're down about 25, 22, 23% from these highs here back in August and July of this double top here. So, right, whenever we think about the market, we got to think about the market. The market is always predicting a future move. So let's say we are here in August, right? If they're predicting the potential government shutdown, it's going to settle off up until that news and then more than likely to bounce. Now, Boeing here is really interesting for a few different reasons. Still very shy from the 2018, 2019, 2020 highs, right? We have this big sell-off and now it's been slowly rebounding. It tried to a couple times, it keeps getting sold off. But I think Boeing is still going to do really well in the coming years, not only off of just current contracts, but with aviation and travel in general being extremely important and them getting more and more orders. So Boeing is actually come down to this very important key area here, this area of support here with this with this daily gap they just filled. You can see right here, we had a daily gap they just filled and holding support is 1, 2, and now we're currently sitting it on a 3rd time. Now, the one thing with Boeing is I do want to see coming next week this to hold and bounce and have a rebound back to the high. So for me, this thing is currently still is a buy. Has potential too if it does want to sell off more. If we take a look at our Fibonacci retracement, take a look, it could have potential if this support doesn't hold, right? If money comes around, we gap down, we're holding below this. The next area where this would interest me and I will wait for is right around this $160 to $156 area, right into this golden pocket, which also will come and fill up this daily for value gaps here. They need to be filled up. It'll be a pretty nice retracement. I think the support more likely will cause a bounce. That's why I'm giving this a rating of buy, and I'm feeling like a little bit like one of those Wall Street people that's like, I'm giving this a buy. And I don't take that lightly when I give things a buy. So Boeing for me looks pretty interesting, and the way you can play this, these are shares, long-term account, or you can do long out contracts. This looks pretty interesting. Again, let's see how this next week plays out with this candle right here. Also, we'll take a quick look at the weekly chart. Weekly chart again, real strong area of support. If that doesn't hold, coming down to this 160 to 150 area, right around this area. probably be very interesting, but we do expect a rebound here into maybe 205, 206, something like that. Next up, guys, we're going to be talking about Tesla and really electric vehicles in a whole. I'm feeling pretty bullish on them with the government shutdown. Government gives a lot of money to electric vehicle companies, and their number one pick is always going to be Tesla. Also kind of forming this little bit of an inverted shoulder here that it recently broke out of and kind of continued this uptrend. Tried to get to the 300 mark. That's where we had a strong rejection, and then currently that sell-off that we saw. But as you guys can see, Tesla actually quite much stronger than a lot of these other stocks holding. Rather than making a new lows this past week or week and a half where we had this big sell-off, it's actually holding higher lows from the bottom on August 23rd here. Actually, you guys remember it was a long position that we did take in the chart. If you're trading with us, we took a swing long on Tesla. So Tesla's something I'm feeling pretty good on. I'm feeling pretty, we had a really nice bounce here. If we go from this bottom to the top, can you guess where? Right into our golden pocket. Really nice bounce. It's reversal showing strength versus overall market. So this can definitely go in the short term to right about this next resistance area and this gap at 262 we're looking at into the short to medium term. So probably we'll look for something like this and then try to break these new highs and reach this 302 mark and retest again these 300s where you do have a lot of resistance and see if we can get above. And you guys know you try not to bet against Tesla bulls because when the Tesla bulls get, they get riled up, to get really strong. So keep your eyes on Tesla. This will be something that I want to see continuation here and not come and retest these lows right here. We don't want this to lose the golden pocket area because if you do, then more likely you're going to come down to about 220 down here. So that's something that we'll be looking at. And lastly, let's talk about Microsoft before we get the hot pick of the week. With Microsoft, you guys know I was actually short Microsoft from right around this area here. We had a longer short position, which came and pretty much came to our level right here, which was this major level support right around 310, which again, it has held and it did bounce on. Now, I don't know a lot of this daily candle that I see here. Microsoft has been having some relative weakness to a lot of the market, but you guys can see this weekly is starting showing signs of a reversal. We're also seeing that you came and retested this area of support right here. You can see in the weekly chart, and we should see a pretty nice bounce to, at the very least, can retest this lows right around 328.50. Very similar how we see on Tesla. Now, if we do lose this area of support, we could come down to this weekly fair value gap that needs to come filled. So let's say next week, big red week, and you go through here. This will be the next area that I've been looking for a bounce. But currently, I'd like to see continuation higher into right around this resistance, and from here, hopefully break and go higher. If not, set stop loss agreed, and just kind of let it play out. But on this weekly area of support here, where we currently get bounce on, and then we just need to wait for our confirmation candle. So those are the three stocks I'm going to be looking at for this coming weeks, and potential Microsoft, Boeing, and Tesla. Again, they're all blue chip stocks that do move depending on whatever the government is doing, and they're all also American companies. Now let's talk about one that could be more risky. It's more of a long-term play, something that I do see some potential, and for the people that stayed this long. So I'll give you guys my reasoning, and then you let me know in the comments below what you think. And here we have it. It's U.S. oil. U.S. oil, as you guys remember, I had this nice short position here that literally came down to the perfect. And now came down this weekly support and came back up. Now you took out this liquidity here that was all in these weekly candles right on this area. You just came up, you wicked above, and the weekly closed kind of nasty. Right, you had these big buyers that then got sold off. So I'm looking here for actually a short position, a move to right around at the very least this 77, 73 area, potentially even continuing an overall trend lower and come down to around this $50 area here. Now, that's more a long-term target, but an idea could always be holding a higher low here after this pretty big breakout here on the weekly time frame, and then could maybe go higher and come test 115. For now, where I'm looking at, it's probably going to be this push lower right now after you took out this top side liquidity here. First continuation now. US oil, you can trade it many different ways. You can trade options, you can trade it on futures, you can trade it however you want it, or you can simply trade it on something like XOM. XOM, very similar, right? Flirting with the all-time high, weeks above it, gets rejected, could see a lower move again as it's been consolidating its long box for either accumulation for a move down, or maybe you do see a strong breakout. So those are the combinations I'm going to be looking at, guys, in the next weeks, 2 weeks with this news of the government shutdown. again, government shutdown news is more likely going to be bullish for the market. So make sure you stay for there. The bears were very strong last 2 weeks, but things will be turning. So as always, guys, if you trade on me every single day, and enter, I'm gonna do for people that are this late, it's only gonna be a handful of people. I'll do a $200 giveaway. Leave in the comments down below. What's a good word? Let's leave the word pineapple in the comments and that gets you entered. That's all you gotta do. Make sure you're liked and subscribe. Leave the word pineapple. There's a man here. For the few people that are staying this long to watch it, and as always, guys,